To crochet heart bubble, you will need to start with 2 bubbles. Each of them start with crochet only 5 rounds for each. And then what I do, the way I connect it, the bubble that is still attached to the skein of thread, leave it, put it down for a while, and pick up the first bubble you made. So you finish the last stitch, tie it, and do not cut this thread. You will weave this thread as you will crochet. So turn this bubble in such a way that the last stitch will face away from you, will be on another side of the bubble, so it will be on the back and this will be your front. So facing this bubble, from that stitch, from the last stitch, count 3 stitches to the right. So 1, 2, 3. Insert the hook into that stitch, 3rd stitch, and then pick up the other bubble, the last one, and insert the hook into the last stitch. And pull this stitch through the front bubble, the bubble that on the front. Make a slip stitch. And now you will connect both bubbles together. Hook into the first bubble, then into the next bubble. Grab the thread and make single crochet stitch. Again, stitch into the front, into the back, pull threads through both stitches and make single crochet stitch. Now the last stitch, the 3rd one, you make into the top of this last stitch. To make it easier, I move the thread from that bubble to the right. It's hanging there in such a way that you could see the top of that stitch. Here it is. And insert the hook into that stitch and in the opposite bubble, that on the back. Connect 2 stitches together with a single crochet stitch. Now this thread, this short tail, leave it on the other side. You will crochet over this piece as you go and crochet around both bubbles 1 full round. You will pick up this thread on the other side and you will crochet around it. But for now, this will look like on the top, on the side. Continue crochet. You should have 13 stitches on this side and another side of the bubble. So let's crochet single crochet stitches. All around the both bubbles. Here's this thread. So be careful, don't forget about this thread. So crochet all stitches on 1 bubble, the last stitch crochet, single crochet, and now you will crochet over this thread around 1/2 of the heart. This way you will weave in thread and you don't have to worry about weaving in one end of thread. You will have only one left. So everything you can crochet in Irish crochet or in small items like that, you can always weave in as you crochet, as you go, weave it in or crochet over it. It's always easy to crochet over it, especially when you make single crochet stitches. So continue this way to the other side. And I have my prepared part. So here we have this thread. I am at the end of my one round. It's round 6. I can already cut this thread, I don't need it, the short tail. And I am in the middle of the other side of the round 6. But I started round 6 right in here, right? So now we will crochet round 7 and 8 the same way, and I will show you how. We will have to make a decrease. So again, going over another side of the bubble. Crochet, single crochet stitches. And when you come to the middle, where the bubbles are connected, right in here, this is where you're making decrease. And this is the way you make it. Sometimes you will have right in the middle one stitch and stitches across. Or sometimes you will have very distinctly see that there's 2 stitches, one on one side, and there's like no stitch in the middle. So I have kind of stitch right in the middle. How do I decrease here? I pick up stitch before and after the middle stitch. So before, pull the thread out, skip this middle stitch, and in the next stitch pull thread through. You have 3 stitches on the hook, crochet them together. So I will show one more time. So you come to the point, to the middle, where those stitches are connected. Sometimes you will have odd number here, and odd number stitches in this situation. You will have 1 stitch in the middle. How to make a right decrease? You have the stitch in the middle, so you pick up stitch, insert hook through the stitch that before the middle stitch, pull thread through this, then skip the middle stitch and pick up or go inside the stitch that after that middle stitch and pull thread through that stitch, crochet 2 together. So you skip that one and continue crochet. So first decrease we made, and now we will make another decrease, again in the same place on another side, where both, this is a very tricky place to crochet, it's very small, 2 bubbles do not want to fit in your hand very well, but have to be patient with this if you want that beautiful heart. So we're coming back again to the place where the bubbles connected. And again I have stitch in the middle. No, actually I don't have stitch in the middle. So we have now a different situation. I'll show you how to deal with this one. I have really nothing in here. It splits and you can see one stitch on one side and one stitch on another. This way we just make it easier on us, and we will crochet this way. We will crochet, insert the stitch, the hook into one side, and in the next stitch on another side. Pick up stitches this way and crochet both together. So on other side we skipped middle stitch. Here we have two stitches, one on one side, one on another. We just made decrease using those two stitches. The same way, crochet one more round. So it was 7th round. The same way, crochet round 8. Also, decrease will happen in the same places both times. And again, watch for those stitches, what's going on in here. We'll have the same thing as before. We have two stitches that are split, so one in another stitch, two, crochet two together. So sometimes it's very distinctly visible that one stitch in between, and this is when you skip it and make a decrease, or when they are split together, one on one side stitch, one on another. This is when you also pick up both stitches and crochet them together. So one more round, I'm finishing that 8th round, and I will show you what you do for the 9th and 10th round. So here again I have two stitches, one, another stitch, and crochet them together. We made a decrease. Now it's time to fill in the bubble with filling, polyester filling. You probably will need to do this a few times because you have two parts. So make sure to put enough filling in one side of the heart and in the other one. And at some point, as you will crochet, you will have to add more filling. So now we will crochet. The 9th round is a little bit different. 7th and 8th we decrease only on those two sides. For 9th and 10th we will decrease in the middle and on the sides. So let's go and see how we will do this, how I do this. So 9th and 10th rounds decrease twice. So crochet and made a decrease in the middle of those sides. So right now I am in the middle of the side, and I will pick up one stitch, make a stitch through the stitch of the previous round, and another. We have 3 stitches on the hook, crochet together. Here's your decrease. and sometimes this stuff are coming out. Push it back if it's not comfortable, and go to the middle of the heart, and again make a decrease here. One, two. Does it look like I have one stitch in the middle? Let's see. Yeah, I have here again right stitch right in the middle, so I will take one stitch, pull stitch through, skip one, go to the next stitch, and crochet all together. And another decrease we will make on another side. Again in the middle. And to see where the middle is, just fold it on together like this to see exactly where it is. So this is where I will be. I can crochet one more stitch, and then I have to make a decrease right in here. So one stitch, another stitch, 3 stitches on the hook, and you have your decrease. And do this again one more time. So round 9 and 10, decrease 4 times between connected 2 hearts and on the sides of those hearts. So when you will do this decrease, of course the hole will become smaller, and you will get to the point where your heart will have that very small tiny hole. You still can decrease here, but twice, only twice. So right now I am in the middle, where I made the last decrease in the side of the heart on this side, and I still can make a decrease right here. So I can go make one more stitch here. I can make decrease right in here on the side. Again I can crochet one stitch, and I can crochet another stitch, one more, and another decrease. This place is a little bit difficult to crochet because it's so tiny, and as you saw I lost stitches. So now it's done. The opening is very small and it will be very difficult to crochet here. So this is when you can cut thread and, as in the bubble, the same way, weave in, sew the hole and weave in the thread inside the heart. And this is how I do this. So pull the thread through all the stitches that are left here on that small tip, and you'll see you closed it already. Pull on it a little bit, slightly, not very much, and first insert it right inside, through to the other side, that in the middle. And you basically don't put very hard. Here it is. And now you can weave it in a little bit more, back and forth, like that. Then you can go over one stitch and through the tip of the heart. Again, right in the center. and anywhere basically where the thread will come through and the needle will lead you, and again. So weave in the thread. Also, do not pull very hard, you don't want to change the shape of it. This is basically all to it. You weave this thread enough, many times, that it will not come out, and carefully cut it off. And to connect this heart to other motifs or to crochet something else here, it is all in the written instructions how to add more thread and connect the heart to the project Scarf Garden. So enjoy making little hearts.